Hello, everyone's Forest Focus as Nottingham Forest are beaten 1-0 by Birmingham City in a game which arguably highlighted what we're lacking. We'll discuss the Trevor Francis memorial match in Fords. The ambitious championship side came out on top, plus the latest transfer news involving two Americans. So with that in mind, perfect timing. Chief, how are you?
I'm happy to be here. Hoping to fill you in on all things U.S. men's national team and all the rumors.
Excellent. We look forward to that. We'll get into the game first, but let's introduce Greg Mitchell. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. I just want to congratulate you, really.
Why?
On time. I think it's the first time in like 4 or 5 years I've been doing this that we've started bang on when we said we were going to. So whether that's down to Chief or
down to you.
Well, the game was delayed. The game was delayed.
Well, yeah, maybe so. Would have always been on at this time.
Yeah.
You lobbied me before we started, so I want to go to the pub. So I thought, all right, I'll start on time. So that's
Laura might be away, so I'm just going to go and walk the dog for 5 or 6 hours.
Well, talk to us first, and thank you for honouring your verbal contract to come on. I wasn't sure you would, so you're on a roll, Greg Mitchell.
It's because Chief's here. I'm not letting him down.
You did say you'd do it if Chief was here. Kick us off, Greg. What did you make of the game in general?
Well, I'll get a load of stick in the comments now, but it was just a typical pre-season game going through the motions, it felt like. I felt our second string 11 looked more promising than the first string. Obviously, nobody wants to get injured. Didn't really see enough of the new guys. I thought it was dead interesting. Sangari played. Was he pretty much the only one who got all the minutes in? So I think that's a sign of things to come. But yeah, I mean, Birmingham a week ahead of us in their pre-season, started a big game on Friday, but still you do expect a little bit more than what we saw today. I think there's a lot to do in the next couple of weeks, but I'm confident we'll do it.
Yeah, it showed a few issues for me. I think they're mostly repairable. I mean, we last season we struggled against any team that sits in, and Birmingham did that probably as an exercise for what they're going to be up against in the Championship, and we couldn't open them up. Obviously, not having fullbacks is a real issue, and we look better when Richards and Moreira came on. So I'm kind of maybe this is wishful thinking, Chief, but I'm pretty hopeful that when Nico and Ola or new signings are in the team, we'll have more of an attacking threat. But one goal in 5 pre-season games isn't great. So how did you feel about it today?
Don't waste goals on preseason. Save those all for when it counts. So, yeah, I was a little disappointed. I do think it was the lack of fullbacks. We saw with the one good chance. I think it was Morata kind of started it, but it was then Hudson-Odoi, a little flick to Gibbs White, and then he probably should have shot it from the top of the box. Like that was maybe 20 minutes in, and he laid it off to Odoi. But outside of that, not much creativity, and so a little disappointing. Set pieces didn't look great, but I thought, like you said, the second stringers looked a lot better. And I really kind of am liking what I'm seeing out of Taiwo. I think he's looking a little bit more fit. I think he's going to play an important role this year, either in Europa League or Championship or Cup ties and things like that. So I'm excited to have him back and looking like he can contribute.
Yeah, and I did see promising signs, even though the attack was pretty poor. I like Igor Jesus. We'll do a bit on him. And I thought Dan Ndoye, you could see what he's about. So it's just that final bit of chemistry is sorely lacking, and that's probably what we need to address. Elliot, thank you very much for the £5. Appreciate that. Our kit looked lovely today, did it? I can't remember what kit we wore. Yeah.
Cutting edge there from I don't even know if we played in red or not.
I can't remember. Honestly, if there's someone who cares less about kits, it's me. I know I'm supposed to be super enthusiastic, but I'm generally not. I did have a good birthday. Thank you, Elliot. And do like and subscribe, everyone. Very much appreciate that. Let's talk about a few things. I mean, we went behind 21 minutes. Murillo's Murillo in pre-season. I don't think it's worth doing anything on him. It's the way he plays. Morata is probably someone to talk about a little bit. He's getting a lot of stick online. I don't think he finished last season well. Is it unfair to judge him, Greg, playing out of position, or should we expect more against a Championship team, especially when that goal, he was pretty central as well and got beaten?
Yeah, I think he does have to improve. But I mean, the issues we had last year when he played, a few big errors, weren't they? But he's a good player. He shows a lot of good things, but you've got to be switched on for 95 minutes, haven't you? And I think that's a major issue with his game, where he does just lose that concentration quite a bit. But he's going to be featuring when we're playing in all these competitions. It's players like that we're going to have to rely on a lot of the time. So if we don't feel like we need to strengthen in that area, then he's getting the minutes for obvious reasons. So yeah, got to do better, but quite a lot of them have after today.
I think so. Just on the backup centre halves, Chief, Morato, Carmo, Jair Cunha are probably all lobbying to get the third centre back spot, I guess. I mean, have you seen enough from any of them to suggest that one should be in a position ahead of the others or not?
No, I think I probably trust Boley and Abbott better than the three you mentioned. So, yeah, Morata, it's like he looks the part. You can tell he's a very good athlete, but when it comes down to it, it's like Greg's saying, he does switch off. So I don't really love any of those. Some of those have to be going out, right?
I think Carmo would be,
yeah. So I don't know. I genuinely have liked what you're going to get from Willy Bolly. It's never going to be spectacular, but I do feel like you can trust him. So you don't want him in your starting 11, but I would be very happy with him coming on to see a game out or to play in the different cup games. So yeah, none of the other backup center halves are doing anything for me.
We should talk more about attack than defense, really. It was just because the goal. I was wanting to mention that. I mean, on the attack, I think one goal, Chief. I think we might have had, was it 2 shots on target today? Are you worried by that or not?
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried just because how last season ended as well, where it's like once we were kind of found out, we didn't seem to have a plan B to generate chances, and you remove Alanga from that, and all of a sudden it's like, oof, like how are we getting? But like and Doy, first game today, he's obviously new to the team, new to camp, so I do think that chemistry will develop. I do have an opinion that I share with Chris and a couple of the other guys that I WhatsApp with. I'm not the biggest Sangari fan. I want Mateus Fernandes, and then you play Anderson deeper. And then that allows you to kind of ping pong it around. And I know that this is probably stupid, but Sangari always leaves something a little bit to be desired for me. So I kind of want a midfield 3, and I want to improve that. And I think everything going forward, if you're going to have the ball more, every time Anderson has it at his feet, I trust him. Like he'll dribble out of trouble. Whereas Sangari, I'm like, I hope he gets bailed out by a foul. So I know he's great pinging passes around. He's just never been my cup of tea. So I'd love to improve the midfield if that's Luis or Fernandez or somebody else. I think that will help the attack going forward too.
He's great on the ball. I mean, he was really good on the ball today, but there's always there is that but. I know Pete was in our WhatsApp chat after 10 or 15 minutes, just knowing that players are running off him, and this is such a divisive issue in the fan base, but players do run off him. He's the best, as Paul says, he was the best player. He's our best passer, and he's best at moving the ball, definitely, and he moves the ball really well. But I think a lot of us have still got the questions to answer when someone runs beyond him and off the ball. So I think he does still have to answer that. I don't know. Go on, Greg, because people are backing Sangari. He has had a good pre-season. I totally agree. But there's still that but that I don't know if he's quite answered completely yet. What about you, Greg?
Like last season, he just needs a good pre-season. There's a player in there, isn't there? He's off the ball. I did agree with Pete with quite a bit of what he said, but on the ball, yeah, there wasn't a lot of competition today at all. But he probably was the best player on the pitch. Not that was really saying anything after today's performance, but we certainly don't need the meltdown that's happening online at the minute. That's just crazy. You only have to look at last season's pre-season, pretty similar, to be honest. And how many more games we got? 2, 3?
2.
Yeah, 2 games, not playing until the Sunday. I think it is going to help us that we're at home that first game against what's going to hopefully be relegation fodder Brentford. So we should be getting results there. But, we're trying out. Pre-season is about trying out things. Playing without their fullbacks today is obviously a big risk, and I imagine a message to everyone concerned that we need to strengthen in that area. Because they are the start of our attack, aren't they? They have been for even through Cooper, they've been the start of our attack. So we have to strengthen there. But Yeah, there's a lot to be left to be desired after today's performance, but I'm not concerned. Just like I wasn't concerned last month when we hadn't signed the players and it looked like everyone was departing. Things work themselves out with this team, so there's nothing to be concerned about.
Yeah, and a lot of our best moments go through Gibbs White, and Gibbs White wasn't very good today, especially the first 20 minutes. I don't think he retained the ball once, really.
No, and you're allowed to say that. It's not like he's signed and he's just going to be this incredible player every single game. He was going through the motions today. Nobody wants to get injured, remember. That's the biggest thing. You see so many times these players in pre-season have horrendous injuries. So they're obviously being careful, but yeah, Gibbs White, first few minutes, gave away 2 fouls, lost the ball a couple of times. If it wasn't for the name on the back of the shirt, you'd be saying, "Oh, who's he? A load of rubbish." But it's just the way it is. There's not anything to be concerned about other than the depth in our squad, which is obviously a big thing, actually. But I still think we'll sort that out. We've got a month to go, haven't we, in the window?
Yeah, depth in fullbacks is definitely a worry. I mean, they did have that moment, Chief, where Morgan knocked it into Igor Jesus. You've not been on to speak about Igor Jesus. I like what I see quite a lot. What about you?
Yeah, I like him too, and a little something different. And I watch the show every time I'm not on it. And I know you weren't really paying attention to the Club World Cup, but that was on prime time here. It was in the United States, so I watched that quite a bit. And I thought he looked great for Botafogo in that. He had a couple bright moments, obviously the one against PSG. But yeah, he looks like he gets into spaces, comes back and supports the ball. So I think who knows what he'll end up being or what his production is. But you can see that there's a player there somewhere.
I think as well, Greg, do we have to learn his game a little bit? Because he came really deep at one time, which Wood and Taiwo aren't going to do. And these are things that hopefully you learn in pre-season, and we probably need runners in behind him, which hopefully.
Yeah, and he looked a couple of times the camera angle zoomed, and he looked a bit frustrated, didn't he? So, yeah, that's all going to come. And if we're talking about strikers, I don't get all the stick that Taiwo's getting after today. He was the best of our attacking options. You saw Chris Wood go through with a comfortable one-on-one and basically pass it to the keeper. That's not good enough, really, and he'll definitely improve on that sense. But Taiwo's strength was clear to see today, and he's going to be one of those players that you can bring on when you're protecting a game, but still need that attacking option. Just the way he holds it up's really good, and he showed that again today.
His speed too. He looked quick. Yeah, and he's always a guy that needs time to knock the rust off. And when you're injured all the time and you're not in the first 11. It's hard to do that. So if he can stay healthy and there's more games and more minutes to go around, I think he'll come good again.
Yeah, he and Jota offered quite a bit of chaos off the bench, which isn't the worst thing at all. So, yeah, he does look lean and he does look better. I just want to see us create more than, when did their keeper make a save? 70 minutes, something like that?
Yeah. But Derek is not letting it go in the comments. Every time I look up, it's an attack on Taiwo.
Derek's not having Taiwo
at all.
I know. He's definitely not having Taiwo at all. I know. I do think, I know I keep going back to this, but not having fullbacks to get forwards is so intricate to how we play. I mean, I don't know, we've got to sign someone quickly or not, Chief. Are you comfortable waiting till the last day of the window if we need to just have Ola and Nico and hope they're fit all the time?
I mean, comfortable, no, I guess. It's not really up to me. I'd like to, but it's one of those things where it's I wish they could, find another guy in a free, because it's your starting two are nailed on, that you just need a little bit of depth. I don't know if Toffolo wanted to leave. I loved Harry Toffolo, and I know he's not a guy that you want in there all the time, but it's another guy that you do trust to just do the simple things and do his job. So if they could find a veteran player like that's sound defensively, just to provide that depth, then I think that'd be great. But it is a little bit nerve wracking because what do we make of this Moreira? Does he have a chance to be the first?
Silva Moreira?
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. I mean, I thought he had a decent first year. He's been injured a lot. There was one game where he played against Ipswich where it probably showed he's not ready. But I think there's promise there. I don't know. What do you think, Greg? I think he needs a loan, probably. What about you?
Yeah, well, you'd hope that. Going back to the initial question, what I'd say is we don't need to find the fullback next week. I'd rather get the right one by the end of the window than the one that we get right now, if that makes sense. He certainly will have game time if, again, there's not a lot of other options because of all the games we're going to be playing. There's a very good chance we're playing in 3-4 competitions at some point this season. So we're going to have to be so ready with that, with the priority being the Premier League, obviously. But after that, these players that didn't get much of a look in last year are going to be all over it this year. And again, that's why I was surprised that like Toffolo got released, because he would be playing in a lot more games this season than he would have been last season.
One side note, we spoke about, I know you were big on Jimmy Sinclair, Greg. None of the kids are in the squad today, which probably says how they're actually rated, doesn't it? And then how Nuno sees them.
Abbott wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't count him as a kid. Sorry, I count him as one of the first team squad.
I suppose that shows just how developed we are with that. But yeah, I agree. I mean, now we're into the business end of pre-season. We're seeing how this squad, who's going to be on the bus, really how it's lining up.
Let's take a word for the Trent navigation. I was there on Friday night and it was lovely, lots of sun to enjoy. If you haven't been and you want to check out the Matchday experience, because the season is almost upon us, here is a reminder of what you can get.
Hey up me duckies, a quick rundown of match days at the Big Shed. We're open from 10, serving full English breakfast, teas, coffees and, believe it or not, beers. Father's Footy Quiz is followed by the lunchtime kickoffs, and the outdoor kitchen is fired up from midday, serving sourdough pizzas, burgers, hot dogs, pies and sausage rolls. Lovely. Pints start at £4. We have a great selection of cask ales and lagers to lubricate the vocal cords for a bit of a sing-song before the game. After the match, we've got some great DJs and live bands booked. So get your send down to the Trent Nav. Win or lose, we're having a booze. And if we draw, we'll have some more.
Thanks to the Nav for their support as ever. Go on, Greg, what are you laughing at?
Yeah, it's just it's good that they haven't spent much money on a voiceover. I think I recognise that one. That was quite good. I enjoyed that.
It's one of the Fun Boy 2, isn't it? I know.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Kudos to the Nav, though. If you don't follow them on social media, you should do. They're becoming quite entertaining.
Definitely. Let's talk Dan and Doy a little bit. I mean, interestingly, he started, wasn't it, Chief? Straight into the team.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to develop chemistry with the rest of the starting lineup, I guess you got to throw him right in. So there's times running out for that. So yeah, it was good to see him. Didn't have a ton of the ball. He's part of the Forest attack that didn't really do anything. So not a great chance to showcase. Like I said earlier, Gibbs White kind of found him. I thought that pass was a little bit heavy too, pushed him wide. But I don't know. He looks like he's again another good athlete. Not afraid to take guys on. I think we'll be happy with him, but nothing really to write home about today.
Any thoughts on him, Greg? I mean, you can't judge a guy in 70 minutes, but any thoughts from you?
Yeah, there was, especially there was like one or two moments in the first half where I thought, oh, yeah, nice. But again, Ringrose not owning his own players as well, so that'll all come. But I imagine he's going to be playing a lot of minutes for us this season.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he did get in good positions, but Morgan's passing let him down a couple of times. It would have been interesting to see if we could have released him. Definitely. Do
you know when Williams and Ina start first games of the season, who drops out of this 11?
Oh, Igor Jesus, and Wood starts. Wood and Doy.
Oh, and Wood as well. So you've got 3 dropping out of that 11, really, of our starters.
We can talk about this quickly. At the moment, then, my first team to start against Brentford, I guess, is Sells, Aina, Williams, Murilo Milenkovic, Sangare, if Douglas Luiz hasn't signed in time, or whoever comes in. Sangare, Anderson, Gibbs White, and Doy, Wood, Hudson-Odoi. And that would leave out Igor Jesus, I imagine. I don't know. What about you, Chief?
Yeah, same. I mean, pending some other transfers coming in, I think that's the strongest 11.
Drop in the chat. Drop in the chat your starting 11s if you've got one in mind already. Well, what do you think, Greg?
No, I was just trying to think, because obviously Morata wouldn't be in it.
No.
Yeah, one of the new guys wouldn't. But I'd be, as much as that's the obvious one, I'd be surprised if that is the starting 11. And we
think Igor Jesus is going to play?
Yeah, I do, to be honest. I think that They want that something different. The whole myth around us being figured out towards the end of last season, and I think starting against Brentford, we could really have a fresh look, and I think it's the perfect team to start against as well, to be honest.
Yeah, Matt D says he would play the same team, but he would have Jesus starting up front. I wonder if, I mean, Jesus and Wood in the same team, Chief, is something that we've seen a bit. Are you not completely sold then?
I just don't know how the puzzle then fits together. So then is it a 4-4-2, and then you still have both wingers, and then you have what, Sangare,
especially at home,
Anderson and Gibbs White, or Anderson or Sangare and Gibbs White. So I don't know what it looks like if you have the two up top, and how, because I'm a big believer in just getting your best 11 players on the field and kind of figure out the positions. And so, like, I need Anderson in there, I need Gibbs White in there, and if you have two up top and then you have your two wingers, it's like I think you need to have at least three in the midfield. So I'd rather have save Jesus to come off the bench or save Wood to come off the bench.
Yeah, my team's 4-3-3. I know. I mean, Morgan Gibbs White is going to start. He's going to start no matter. You don't give a guy 150 grand a week and not start him, at least in the first game. So I'm sure he will definitely start. A few people saying Jesus over Wood. I don't know, Greg. 20 goals in the Premier League last season. Do you want to break up your attack that much to not have Elanga and not have Wood? Wood's in my team.
Is it so controversial to say that he scored probably 5 or 6 of them because of Elanga being in that starting 11, and without Elanga, maybe his threat does drop down a little bit more, where we need a player that's going to create more chances from that final third himself, and that's probably where Jesus.
Well, we need to find him, don't we? I mean, his knack is back post, 6 yards out,
but
that kind of thing.
We saw today when he was through on goal, he didn't have that killer instinct. I'm not smashing Wood, by the way. I'm saying that maybe that's why we're looking at Jesus. Or how are we pronouncing it? What are we saying?
Oh, I say Jesus. What do they say in Brazil?
It's Preseason.
You're closer to Brazil, I expect.
We got a Western Hemisphere agreement on this? No, I don't know. I'll say if you're saying Jesus, I'll say Jesus.
Yeah, I like Jesus. That works for me. But yeah, I just think he's been brought in to be able to create more as much as finish as well.
He's been brought in to be a link man. He needs runners in behind him, I think. So
but
I imagine Doy's going to do that.
Gibbs White loves playing so high up, doesn't he? That maybe like Jesus has to be a bit more of an out and out striker. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
They'd ever go to a back five and
away from home,
right? Because then I think you could have almost like a striker with two and almost like what United's looking to do. A striker with two and behind, and then Anderson next to Sangare, and then your wing play comes from your wing backs.
Yeah, because you could play Wood, Jesus, and Undoy behind him, and then you could play Anderson and Gibbs White in a central pairing. I think certainly. Yeah, right. I think, and John Percy's piece, if people read it, said that three at the back's definitely an option that Nuno's looking at. I mean, some of these friendlies would look better 3 at the back. Certainly today. So I don't know. The only thing I thought about Chris Wood as well, like that chance, he really fluffed it today. But then I think back to Liverpool at home and he buried it. And I'd still back an experienced guy in the Premier League to be sharp enough.
Don't listen to Greg. Chris Wood's fine.
Can we? Yeah. I know I'm just doing what I'm about to moan about, by the way, here. But can we address the Gibbs White slander in the chat? In the fact that, do you know, at half time I flicked over to see how the F1 was going on, and it made me think about when they have their pre-season races and all the engines are turned down to 70%, and they're just getting through and figuring out all the data and stuff. And Gibbs White is not playing for points today; he's playing to get through pre-season. So if we're talking about him down in tools and being away, come on.
I love the guy that said Zinkernagel was better than Gibbs White, which Philip Zinkernagel is now in Chicago. So I've enjoyed watching him on occasion. So because he plays for Chicago, he was an MLS All-Star this year. But and with all due respect, he's not as good as Gibbs White.
We know how Chicago sport goes these days.
It will go badly. It'll go badly.
I think, what Will said about Morgan does have games like this, especially in pre-season. He does blow hot and cold, and he blew very cold today. We will let the manager pick the team, Simon, but it's quite hard to do podcasts if you never have an opinion on who should be in the team or what's happening. So
Brilliant.
that's why we're talking about it. What else shall we talk about?
Oh, if we don't want to talk about, I've got a few questions, actually, a couple for Chief. If we don't want to talk about tactics and things, maybe Andrew will like this. What is Birmingham's sponsor about? Is it anything to do with NFL and defense and stuff? Did you see it?
I couldn't make out what that was.
It was literally a fence.
It looked like, I thought it was either that or like tally marks with a line through. It's like, this is 5. I don't know.
Then at the back it said like visit Birmingham, and I thought, oh, that's.
And I
nice.
thought, no, thank you.
Yeah, but then it said underneath Alabama.
Oh, it did? Oh, Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
Also, no, thank you. I mean, no one needs to go to Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Hey, guys, that better?
Greg, you just hijacked everything there, Greg. I don't even know what you were talking about.
Don't want us talking about tactics and stuff. So I thought.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Chief mentioned one thing I was going to talk about. I'm really worried about our set pieces. They're a bit crap, the delivery on them still. Anderson took a decent one. Am I worrying too much about it, Chief, that we've got no one to put a quality ball in or not?
No, because they were so good at those last year. And it was so, like that, defending set pieces and being able to convert on them. I don't know how many points that was worth from year 2 in the Prem to last year, but that seemed like a big difference. So if that is off the table, I think goals could be a lot harder to come by than they were last year, especially if, the counterattacking has been quote unquote figured out. And then you don't have the set piece element. Like, that's a big problem. So I don't know how you fix that. I'd be interested. I'm kind of surprised they never let Nico take free kicks.
He took one and he overhit it in the last game, didn't he?
Yeah.
We certainly haven't figured it out, have we? Because like Nico started on corners the other game, and you're like, okay, a couple of corners today, not getting past the first man. You think, bloody hell! And then some did go over, which was all right. But then the last one, that last free kick we had of the two that were quite similar, where I watched the game with my dad, and he was saying, bloody hell, get it over the first man. And suddenly we whipped it in low, and Gibbs White had a good chance. And you think, we have got that now, and we will have that, but we'll be saving them for the competitive games where we have like set piece coaches and all these different ways of doing it. So the basics weren't good enough there today, but I can't expect that'll be happening a lot in the new season.
Do we know if that's something Ndoye is supposed to be able to do?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I'll have a look, but I don't think he'd have taken them today, I guess, if it's in his wheelhouse. So, I think it's an issue, especially, people are saying they're worried about our attack. You can always, roll back to set pieces to be a threat. So when it gets to the league, I think we need to be better in that area. Douglas Luiz would fix this set piece issue. He would, absolutely. He was on them for Villa. So we'll see. On Douglas Luiz, Nuno will speak to the press today. So I don't know. He probably wouldn't comment on it, but I wonder if there might be some background briefing about what's actually happening, because only Italian journalists are talking about Douglas Luiz. I haven't seen any English journalists mention him.
Yeah, and him coming out. Is that confirmed that he's come out and said he wants Forest, or is that like behind the scenes?
It's Italian media, isn't it? There must be something in it. It must be true, because there's so many Italian journalists talking about it. I think because Nuno's been in Portugal and only John Percy was out there. It's just interesting to me that no English journos mentioned Douglas Luiz. So I'm wondering if we'll find out anything today. Just before we talk about an alternative signing that we can ask Chief about, who's mentioned. The only thing I noted down about the game, that's the last thing they want to say. I just wonder, we didn't press at all today, and I wonder if that's just a pre-season thing. But when we did press, we caused them problems. So I hope we see that more when the season starts, and it's nothing to worry about. Before we depart from the game, anything you want to add? Any players that you want to talk about, Chief, that we haven't mentioned?
No, I think we covered it. There's a lot of pieces there. I don't know how the puzzle fits together yet, but I think there's encouraging signs kind of across the board. You just need a little bit more depth and figure out the set pieces, and they'll be all right.
Yeah, the pieces are on the floor. Some of them, some of it's put together. the main pieces of the jigsaw are there, but the ones that make us really complete the picture and make us tick definitely aren't there with 2 weeks to go. And you do want to see a bit more. I'm not quite worried yet, but if we look crap in the next 2 friendlies and don't create anything, then I would be worried, certainly. But get 2 fullbacks on the pitch, and I think that's where I'm at. We'll be all right. What about you, Greg? Anything else on the game?
Yeah, no, not so much on the game. Yates came on, did a good job when we made the 8 subs. It looked like we were at our strongest, to be honest, but they weakened their side as well. But no, I mean, we haven't played. I know officially the Chesterfield game against Monaco was home, but we've not played at home yet. We've not set up like a home team. Our first game's at home, so it's good that we've got 2 home friendlies before that to start to really see how we're going to set up, because today I don't think was about that first game of the season, where the next 2 will be, and it'll be a lot clearer then.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And Birmingham I know Birmingham are a lesser team, but with all due respect to them, because I think they'll do well this season, but they are a little bit ahead of us.
Well, they're playing on Friday night. They're opening the championship up, so they're ready.
Yeah, so it was their last game. They looked a little bit more ready. So yeah, I'm not, like I say, I'm not worried, but we need some fullbacks because Nico and Ola weren't involved at all today. They said Ola was out with a minor knock. I don't know. I wonder if Ola ever fully recovered from that injury last season or not. I don't know. We did seem to rush him back. I hope not. So yeah, that's my only major concern, and I think we'll be all right. Right, let's move on and talk a couple of other bits. I mean, we'll talk a bit about Matt Turner, because poor Matt Turner, I've never seen anything like it. A guy is signed for another club. They don't even acknowledge it. They ship him out and still don't mention it, and he goes back to New England Revolution. We sell him for €8 million, and the reported clause to buy him for New England is $3 million. So they're desperate to get rid of him. It's so weird. The question I was going to ask you, Chief, is how's he viewed in America? Because they've got a legacy of really good goalies: Tim Howard, Brad Friedel, Casey Keller, guys like that. Is American
Brad goes on was a good goalie for a long time too.
Yeah, I mean, is American goalkeeping at an all-time low? Is Turner that badly viewed in America or not?
I mean, lowest of my lifetime for sure. I mean, it's like they're trying everything else. Like they've played Zach Steffen lately in the Gold Cup, and Turner got some in on some friendlies, but there's something that's a hole in our lineup, and we got a lot of holes in that lineup, but that's certainly one of them. And so we're missing Tim Howard, and Brad goes on is still playing. He's 40. He plays for the Atlanta United, and some of those guys, like we had some West Ham guys in the office this week. Jonathan Spector is one of them. He works for Atlanta now, and it's like, get him back in the national team, because we have nothing else. So I'd rather trot out there a 40-year-old Brad goes on than Turner or anyone else at this point. And then there was some kid, he's from Chicago. He's got to be like 18 or 19 now, who signed with Man City. And they're like, I don't know, do we just rush that kid and get him ready for the World Cup? Because we have no answers at that position. So I like Matt Turner. Seems like a good guy. He's just not at the level that we're used to or that we need.
Second goalkeeping spot for Forest is a problem, Greg, isn't it? Because we need 2 keepers. I think we discussed this a bit on Friday. Third keeper, I think, is quite easy to recruit, because the guy knows he's never going to play. But that second keeper spot with Carlos Miguel, who was on the bench today, I think, we need to find a replacement who's going to be good enough but willing to sit on the bench for 80% of games at least, isn't he?
Yeah, and Sells was never signed as the number 1, and look how well he did. So keepers should be looking at Nottingham Forest as a real chance to revive a career, and there'll be keepers out there willing. It's such a hotly contested part of the game, isn't it, that there's so many keepers that should be in the starting 11 in the Premier League that just don't get a chance. So I'm not too worried about that at all. And like you say, Bot should be the third choice just for experience, and in the future they clearly think a lot about him. So they'll get one, but it's not a massive rush, is it? As long as Miguel, we don't think he's amazing, but as long as he hangs around and doesn't go off too soon, we're okay in that position.
Yeah,
It's not the biggest worry for me, put it that way. By a long
no,
shot.
it's not the biggest worry at all, but it's something that we need to address. I mean,
Yeah.
people are saying Darlow for number 2 spot. Here, some not a critic says number 3, and I'd agree Darlow for the 3 spot. But again, that's probably actually quite hard to persuade him to do that. Number 2, I mean, people like Nick Pope are available, but he's not going to come. Stefan Ortega at Man City, he's not going to come to be number 2. Maybe Martin Dubravka might do, or something like that, or you look abroad, but yeah, it's definitely an area that needs addressing. Going back to Douglas Luiz, then we'll wait and see what happens there. If he does sign, and all signs are very promising that he will. If he doesn't, reports in Italy again say that we're looking at Yunus Musah, who plays for AC Milan and plays for the American national team. He's someone Forest have looked at for a long time because he worked with Steve Cooper when he played in the England youth setup. So he's been on Forest radar for a long time, but I haven't seen much of him. What do you make of him, Chief, as a player?
It's one of those things where you would have hoped he took a big leap in his development over the last couple of years, and it hasn't really happened. He came off the bench a lot for Milan last year. It's great athlete. He's almost, a jack of all trades, master of none. So he's played in a 6. He's probably most comfortable in an 8. He's played out wide as a winger. He's played right back. Played as a wing back for Milan. He's played as right back for the United States. So if you're looking at a guy, if Nuno wants to have a small squad and you want to have guys with a lot of versatility, he can certainly do that and come on as a sub at a lot of different positions or fill in for injuries in different positions. But he's not, I wouldn't be like overly excited if we signed him. He's just like a nice squad depth player.
So if I asked you to rank these players as midfield options, if I said Luiz, Mateus Fernandes, Yunus Musah, what order would you put them in?
Through the Forest prism, I would put Fernandes number 1 because, a young player that you might be able to sell on, as you're not going to do that with Douglas Luiz, obviously. And so I'd probably go Fernandes 1, Luiz 2, Musah 3.
What about you, Greg? I mean, you can take Musah out because you don't know about him, but Fernandes versus Luiz, we discussed this on Friday.
Luiz is Luiz is the one I wanted just because of the calibre he is already, but I can't say I've got, I've not seen enough of any of them. Have I? Be kidding myself if I said I really know a lot more.
Do you not watch Southampton get relegated last season? Do you not watch any of their games?
Too busy watching the mighty Forest when we get to Europe every weekend.
No, he is decent. He is decent.
Yeah, they're all going to be good signings, aren't they? We're clearly going to get one of them. We've got an A, B, and C there, whatever order it's in. I'm unsure.
Richard, who's in America as well, says Fernandes, Luiz, and Musah as well. So, God, isn't the American national team a bit crap at the moment, Chief, or something?
All right, hit a man whilst he's down.
We were so hopeful with this. This was our golden generation with Reina, who we saw in Forest, and Pulisic, who didn't want to play in the Gold Cup, which is our last real competition before the World Cup, since we don't have qualifiers. It's been, other than Tyler Adams, I think everybody has been a major disappointment. So yeah, we're very down on the national team here domestically.
Derek asks, the talk on Ramsey and McAtee gone quiet? McAtee hasn't. They had the bid rejected, and I think that whether they make us a second one or not, I'm not sure. And Ramsey's bubbling away in the background. I don't know. I mean, maybe we're waiting to find out which European competition we're in and stuff like that. We haven't thought of that cloud that's hanging over us, but I think there'll be some movement, in the next week or so. Now we've got one over the line in Andoy and Kev
Have
Morgan.
you answered that question for which midfielder you'd like the best? You personally?
Yeah. I mean, Luiz is the here and now, isn't he?
Yeah.
European experience. You get a guy who could be really good for a season or two, and then Fernandes is the guy. You probably get, ideally, a guy for 3 or 4 years, and then you sell him for big money. So it depends. I think we do need some Premier League experience. So I don't know. I mean, he missed a lot of games due to injuries as well last season, as mentioned there. If it's because I tell you why, partly because of set pieces, I would put Luiz at the top because he'd be on corners and dead balls, and it is something that I think we need to. So I would go Luiz and Fernandes very close to each other, and I don't know anything about Musah. And I don't know who else we've been linked with. McAtee's a different kind of player, isn't he? So yeah, that would probably be be my order, I think. Let's take a quick word for Nottingham Window Company, who sponsor post-match shows. Thanks very much for their support. If you're looking for new windows, new doors, check out the link in the description, and they are the people for you. So thanks very much to them. Right, let's talk a little bit. Harry Toffolo looks like he's off to the States to play for Charlotte, 3-year contract. Very nice life in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Good.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Chief, I'll ask you, what do you think about that? And the other question I'll ask is, if you think of the dark old days of the Championship when you first supported Forest, how does the MLS compare to the Championship versus the Premier League? What kind of levels Toff signing at, do you think?
I mean, you can kind of look at Sam Surridge, where he's an all-star. He's one of the leading goal scorers. He plays for Nashville here in the MLS, and he was looking. The reports were that he was just looking for a different life experience and trying to find a spot in the Championship. So I think the Championship is overall better than the MLS. There's a few bright stars kind of running out the end of their careers, obviously with Messi and people like that. But in general, when you watch Premier League in the morning, and then it's the time of year where the MLS is still going, you flip over to watch the MLS, it's shocking how bad it is. So I think he'll probably be an all-star. He'll probably be one of the all-stars next year for Charlotte. But it is kind of weird how there are certain markets in the MLS that have unbelievable fan support. Atlanta gets like 70,000 people a game. Seattle gets around that many. Portland, and then Chicago, major market, 12, if that. So I don't know what it is, but there are certain, it's almost like a cult, like Columbus Crew, Kansas City, these different pockets where it's it seems like a great place to be a professional athlete, because no one will recognize you. You'll be left alone, and then you can make good money and live in a good city where some fans actually support you. So, and Zinkernagel has been, Thomas Hearns, our guy in here again, has been great for the Chicago Fire. So yeah, if you're a good Championship player, you will be one of the better players in the MLS.
Question for the chat as we begin to wrap up then, because I'll ask the chaps how they feel about where we're at. Based on what you've seen in pre-season so far, where do you think this Forest team is going to finish? And I just want to see what people say, because I think the number will hopefully change in the next 2 weeks or so. But I just want to see where people think we're at in the chat. So drop your number in. How do you feel, Greg, then? Final thoughts, how we're shaping up. 2 friendlies to go. Tuesday night, Fiorentina, then Alcadisa, and then it's Brentford the week after.
It's not been the best pre-season. I think you'd probably give it like a 6 out of 10 games times of scored 1, blah, blah, blah. But I'll never, ever take much notice of pre-season. You shouldn't either way, but other than making sure you get through it fit, you see the new players and you see the youngsters who hopefully go on and have some decent loans and come back in a year or so. So for me, I don't know. The highlight of pre-season for me, and the thing that's got me through it, is the chat half of the time. It's been absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I've seen today 2 people organise a boxing match.
I didn't see that. I missed that.
It's been incredible.
I might have to fly over for that.
Yeah, it sounds like it's happening. So you can never go too wild over pre-season, never get too high about some of the stars that look like they're going to be great. And talking about players like Gibbs White, who's not this, that, the other. We know what Gibbs White is like. We've seen him in competitive matches. He's a different beast to what we saw today. Like I say, they're just ticking over now and getting ready for the next big test, which is definitely going to be Brentford. But also there's going to be a lot of debuts at the City Ground on Tuesday. So that'll be an exciting watch for a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm seeing quite a few numbers, around 11, 12, 14. Seeing quite a few 18s as well. I mean, I'm not seeing that at all yet. You have to view these games in the context of the teams in the Premier League as well. And, you look at, I watched some West Ham. They were playing in the States and looked awful. Brentford.
I was there on
were you?
On Wednesday, yeah. So I think they came back and won in the second half, but they didn't look that great.
They've got no legs. Brentford have got players not turning up. I mean, Newcastle are going to do very well, but Isak's training with his old club. I mean, there's some clubs in a mess, and our platform and foundation is still there. Defensively, we look fine. Obviously, we're not good in attack at the moment, and we've only scored 1 goal in 5 games. But I'm not panicked. I mean, I still think Christian here, 10th and solid European run is a very nice season for me that I would take, and I would see that as progress. So yeah, I'm not panicked at all. Yeah, do you want to weigh in, Chief? Then
yeah, and it's I think it's easy to be worried and a little pessimistic after a game like today and this preseason run in general. But Marinakis is not done strengthening this team. So if you add a Fernandez and the Ben Doak, and Ben Doak can kind of bring that speed off the bench and do some Alanga things, and who knows what else. So I think we'll be fine. They played 4 center backs today. Like I think that's a big part of the equation here. So once you have Alana was maybe the one of, if not the best right back in the league last year. Nico Williams seemingly gets better every year. So you add those 2 guys in, you're a different team, and everything looks better out wide. And I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be top half again. And I think they'll make deep runs at, multiple trophies. So I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, Adama Traore's possibly coming in. Like you say, Marinakis isn't going to end this transfer window with us not in the shape to compete, I would imagine.
I'm almost glad that they lost today, because he's probably like getting out his checkbook as we speak. If they had won 4-0, it'd be like, yeah, maybe we're all right. I don't know if you guys saw this. Birmingham tweeted that their official tweet was, "We beat Mr. Marinakis' Forest today." And it was like, I don't know. I read it and like, that's kind of an odd, like that felt like a shot at Marinakis.
Yeah, it was a shot.
Yeah.
Be careful. Teams like Birmingham.
Yeah, watch out, Tom Brady. Watch out, Tom Brady.
They'll want loans off teams like Forest in the future. And
yeah.
Have long memories with stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone have you watched any of the Birmingham documentary at all with Brady? I've seen a few clips.
I haven't yet.
No. Well, what do you think of Tom Brady? I don't know anything about him apart from he wins a lot. Is he an idiot, Chief, or is he all right?
No, it pains me to say it, but I love Tom Brady. He's gotten a little bit odd, but
he's had some work done.
Yeah, he's had some work done, and I don't know, but I think he's like he's perfect. Like he works so hard. He's so meticulous. He's good at everything he does. He was drafted as a baseball player too, as a catcher out of high school. Like he's a better athlete than people give him credit for, and he just wins all the time. So I think if he is actually involved in Birmingham, like they'll eventually get to the Premier League. I'd rather have Birmingham than Wrexham. I can't stand Ryan Reynolds. So.
Yeah.
I did watch the first season of Wrexham's documentary, then gave up on it, I must admit. Yeah. Paul, I did say, based on what you've seen so far, how pessimistic are you? So you do make a fair point, I guess. I'll re-ask the question maybe after each game and see how people are feeling. Right, I think that covers everything I wanted to get through today. We'll be back on Monday with Pete and Temps to talk through whatever else breaks over the weekend and get their thoughts on where we're at. But in the meantime, do us a favour, hit like, hit subscribe, do consider membership or Patreon, or a lovely 5-star review on Apple or Spotify would be great. Greg Mitchell, you've done quite a few podcasts this week, so thank you very much. Appreciate that.
No problem at all. I wanted to give my I was waiting for you to ask me my prediction, but it'll wait.
No, you can keep. Well, you can say it now if you want.
I can give you a I'll give you a pessimistic one from what I've seen pre-season so far. I think we're only going to finish 6th. I need to see a bit more.
All right, I'd like to move mine up to 6 as well.
Okay, pessimistically. Yeah, the Brentford game actually does feel like quite a big game. I don't think it'll necessarily be a long season, but it'll certainly shape the mood because they're in a bit of a state and we've got them at home.
I love the idea from Matt D here. If week 1 must win week 1.
Yeah. Like you got to beat them. They're garbage.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I do, yeah. I mean, I do expect us to beat them, certainly. No matter what our pre-season is, I would be disappointed if we don't, but it doesn't shape the season.
Yeah.
Well, you would be, obviously, because you hate Brentford, yeah. Right. Chief, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Anything you want to plug before we go? I saw Patrick Kane visit was pretty cool. Anything else you want to plug?
I'm wearing some merch, by the way, Chief.
I think that's now technically vintage. I don't think that's in the store anymore. So
I love it.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I just like coming on and talking ball with you guys, so I don't need to plug anything today.
No, it was fun. We'll have Chief on throughout the season. Appreciate that. Appreciate everyone's company today. Do hit like before you go. That'd be great. And if we don't see you on Monday, we shall see you soon.